for my core requirement, script writing for Fine Arts Theater grades 7 through 12. Students will integrate character and plot in scripting dramatic presentations. They will create linear and nonlinear plot structures. So here we have an example, a diagram of a plot structure. It begins here with exposition. Exposition reveals the current stasis of the play. Now, a stasis is basically the status of everyone and everything at the beginning of the play. So that is revealed, and it gives background information on the characters and the conflict and the setting so that we know who the people are and what they're dealing with. That is exposition, where the current stasis is revealed. The point of attack is the moment that that stasis is interrupted. The moment that the major conflict is introduced. Something comes in and stops everyone in their tracks and says, whoa, something's changing. We have this major conflict. The major conflict is basically the major dramatic question of the play or the story. It is a problem that the characters have to work together to try and overcome. Along the way of the major conflict, we have the rising action. Rising action is basically what happens as they deal with that major conflict. Suspense builds and complications arise. These little blips right here that look like little mountain peaks are basically different complications. And here is where they take care of them, and then they continue to rise towards the climax and another complication. And they continue to rise and then another. So it's difficult for the characters to solve this rising action. But once they do, they make it to the climax of the play or story. The climax is the turning point of the action. It is the time when emotions are biggest and interest reaches its very highest point in the play. It is the time where the major conflict is overcome and the major dramatic question is answered. Basically the biggest moment of the play. After the climax comes the falling action. It is the point where things kind of start to settle and resolve. Conflict between the protagonist and the antagonist unravel. And we come to our resolution, where conflict has ended and loose ends are tied up and a new stasis begins. Remember that word from the exposition where the stasis was revealed? Well, now we have a new stasis beginning. And here we have my sources. So basically, this is the outline of it. A stasis is introduced here in exposition. We have our point of attack, introducing the major conflict, which follows us all the way up with rising action, to the climax of the play, the biggest, most emotional point. Then we have the falling action, where things start to come together and fall into place, and conflicts resolve. Then we have the resolution here, or the denouement, where our new stasis is revealed. So we were in this situation, and we overcome all of this, and we can't go back to the beginning because we've had all this conflict, and overcoming the conflict brings growth. So we have a new stasis or new situation here. And this puts us right in the prime place to have a new point of attack, major conflict, rising action, climax, and falling action. Puts us right in line for a sequel. Thank you.